Now, October is bringing in some pretty major cosmic plot twists, and if you thought that things were slowing down a bit in the next month, then you might need to think again. And I say this because we're kicking off the month still in eclipse season with a pretty powerful solar eclipse in Libra, really flipping the script on our relationships and how we view balance within some of them. Then, just as we're adjusting, Jupiter's retrograde in Gemini will start, essentially shaking up Gemini themes in our lives of communication and short-term travel. But probably one of the biggest shifts in October that we'll see will likely be when we see that Pluto goes direct, ending its retrograde and wrapping up months of deeper-rooted transformation as it transits Capricorn for the last time in our lifetimes. So buckle up, because October's astrology is definitely going to make sure that we see things from a brand new perspective. Hello friends, it's your girl Alina, and welcome to my astrology forecast for October 2024. Now on this channel, we talk all things alignment. So aligning with the astrological and seasonal shifts in the world and in space, but most importantly, aligning with our intuition. And I make forecast videos like these, not just for the month ahead, but for full and new moons as well. So be sure to subscribe and turn on the bell to get these horoscopes automatically sent over to you on a regular basis. Now in this video, we'll dive into the top transits happening this October 2024, how they might influence you, what you can expect, and at the end, I'll share some custom journal prompts to help you as you navigate this new month ahead. And before we begin, I'm excited to mention that if you'd like an annual planner that includes the top astrological transits of the year, and I'm talking retrogrades, eclipses, full and new moons, when a planet ingresses or enters a new sign, and what house it's entering in your natal chart, then be sure to check out the 2025 astrology planners that are my creation that I made. They will be going on sale on October 6th, so be sure to go to the description box below to sign up to be notified when that happens. Now these planners, I have one here, not only have the year's astrology top events, but they also have seasonal guides for staying in alignment with the Earth's rhythm as well, along with full and new moon journal prompt sections, seasonal foods, the names, what is a harvest moon? You know, what is a wolf moon? What does that mean for us? All of that is packed into one planner so that you can go from maybe feeling overwhelmed and disconnected from the rhythms of the universe to feeling in flow, because it's all in the same place where you already planned your life. Okay, with that said, let's dive into the top transits of the month. Now, first up, on October 2nd, we'll have the new moon and solar eclipse in Libra. And to put it simply, this pretty powerful lunation will be most strongly felt in our relationships and will likely shake things up a bit in any areas that might feel a little unbalanced, unfair, or even draining. And I say that because Libra eclipse energy really asks us to reflect on where we need more balance, diplomacy, and fairness. And eclipses are considered to be amplified versions of new moons that tend to spark oftentimes sudden shifts and new beginnings. So this will definitely be a powerful time for setting new intentions around how you relate to others and relate to yourselves. So with that said, what might need to be recalibrated to achieve more harmony in your relationships, if anything at all? Next up, about a week after, on October 9th, we'll see that Jupiter will be going retrograde in the air sign of Gemini. Now, when Jupiter goes retrograde, it can definitely be a time to reassess how we're growing and expanding, especially in areas like communication, learning, and short-term travel. So with this retrograde happening in Gemini, you might feel a sort of need to reflect on how you express your ideas and absorb information with more efficiency. So with that context, is there anything that you've been maybe rushing through or overlooking? It'll definitely be helpful to get clear on that now, because with Jupiter being retrograde, it'll be asking us to really slow down and redefine our understanding of people's words, information, misinformation, things like contracts, and really all things of communication. Like Pluto is really the amplifier of things, and with it being retrograde in Gemini, it'll be amplifying areas of our life that involve those characteristics of communication. Next, just a few days following, we're seeing Jupiter enter retrograde. On October 11th, we'll see another planet, that being Pluto, exit their retrograde. Now, Pluto, the planet of deep transformation, has been retrograde for months now, specifically since May 2nd of this year. And it likely has been stirring up some potential hidden truths and forcing a lot of us to confront aspects of our shadows in different ways since then. So as it goes direct on October 11th in Capricorn, we'll likely start to feel a shift in how we handle or look at power, control, and long-term structures in our lives. As with all endings of retrogrades, they can tend to usher in a period where we finally feel ready to take aligned actions with the lessons that this retrograde period had been highlighting for us. So with Pluto going direct on October 11th, it'll be marking a time optimal for integrating retrograde lessons that we might have received and finally move forward with a bit more clarity and strength within those areas of our lives. Next up, on October 13th, we'll see Mercury will be entering the sign of Scorpio. Now, this is the type of transit that will likely be bringing in deeper, more intense spotlights on our thoughts and our communication. And I say this because Mercury is the planet that rules over communication, thinking, information exchange, learning, and all things analytical. So when it enters the more secretive and intimacy-centered water sign of Scorpio, it makes it so Mercury's influence on our communication is imbued through this sort of Scorpio filter that will be highlighting the more intimate details of our lives and of others' lives. So with that said, with Mercury transiting Scorpio, it'll definitely be bringing in a time of more truth-telling, digging into mysteries and secrets, and really getting to the heart of a lot of matters. So during this time, things like surface level conversations will often feel like they aren't really cutting it. And you might notice these ongoing themes of like diving deeper into your personal life or diving deeper into others' lives in some way. And this might manifest as people feeling more comfortable to divulge and open up and really achieve this level of intimacy through vulnerability in some ways. It also might manifest as, man, I've been wanting to understand what's going on, and finally it's revealed in some way. But ultimately, energetically, that vulnerability, exposure of mysteries, secrets, aspects of our shadow around this time, especially through communication. Like on one side of the coin, I actually see this as potential gossip or potential information getting leaked, or maybe not even leaked, but revealed in some ways on a collective level. But ultimately, when we see that Mercury is transiting Scorpio, it makes it a lot more conducive to have those deeper conversations. And considering that Pluto will be going direct and things like that, I think that that'll be very notable and interesting. But we still see that Jupiter will have already started its retrograde in Gemini. Gemini is ruled by Mercury. It's bringing in a lot of those mercurial themes of our thinking, our communication, our information exchange, misinformation, confusion in retrograde. So there is that to consider. And yeah, one more note about Pluto going direct in Capricorn, in addition to this happening, I really think that both of these transits will be working together to create a collective environment that really asks for us to face and process anything that's maybe more personal that we might have been sweeping under the rug or avoiding facing, especially since Pluto went retrograde in May. But ultimately, it is when we face these things that we can better process and move through them. Remember, the only way out is through in most situations. Next up, on October 17th, we'll see that Venus will be entering Sagittarius, bringing in an air of a bit more adventurous, free-spirited energy to our love and relationships. Now, this transit can also encourage things like exploration, growth, and expanding our horizons in how we connect with others. On the same day, we'll also have a full moon in Aries, really highlighting themes of independence and self-assertion. So this lunation will definitely be perfect for releasing any fears that might be around owning and embracing your true and authentic power, especially when sharing space with different people. Next, later on in the month, on October 22nd, we'll see that the sun will be entering the sign of Scorpio. Now, this will be marking not only the start of Scorpio season, but birthday season for my Scorpio friends. So I have to say a very happy birthday to all of you. Your intuitive ability to tap into the heart of things and see the deeper rooted intentions in people is truly unmatched. I know that because my mother is a Scorpio. Now, to start off Scorpio season, it will be bringing in a big air of introspection and transformation and uncovering hidden truths in a lot of ways. The energy will be very conducive for those things during this month-long period. So this will be a powerful season for letting go of what no longer serves you and holding space for the deeper-rooted influences and experiences that sort of inform your current worldviews, really reflecting on those and whether or not it's conducive in different ways. Now, next up, near the end of the month, on the 26th, we'll see that Vesta, the asteroid associated with devotion and sacred spaces, will be entering Libra. Now, this transit will be inviting us to create more balance and harmony in our sacred spaces, whether that's our home, our relationships, or our inner world. Think about self-talk. So it will definitely be a beautiful time for reconnecting with what makes you feel centered and aligned, and really reflecting on your personal connection to yourself in a lot of ways. And finally, as we close this month out, it'll be with a mystical touch on Halloween, where we see that Mercury in Scorpio will be trining with Neptune in Pisces on the 31st. Now, this transit will be heightening our intuition and imaginative thinking, making it a really great time for spiritual work, dream journaling, or simply allowing yourself to flow with the cosmic magic of this day, really following any inklings or signs that you pick up on. I really think that you might be surprised with the experiences you'll have, especially when it comes to vivid dreaming, and especially if leading up to it, maybe a few weeks prior at the beginning of this month, you really take time to, before going to bed, setting an intention. I will remember my dreams, having a notebook right next to the bed, making a habit of even the smallest memory you have, either voice recording it on your phone or journaling it to really strengthen your memory. I think a lot of us will experience really interesting intuitive downloads around this time because of that transit. And this is not really as much in the astrology realm, though some people might argue it is very interconnected. But as many of you already know, Halloween is seen as this time where the realm between this one and the next is a lot thinner. And though there's a lot of modern associations with scarier things, for many cultures, for example, Dia de los Muertos, which is a Hispanic holiday, which is in alignment with this, many cultures and traditions all over the world for centuries have looked at this time as a time that can be really great for ancestral veneration and honoring our ancestors. And I really encourage you, if that's something that resonates with you, learn more about it. Learn more of the context, the ancient traditions, outside of like more modern day sort of conditioning, I would say. I don't know, that makes us always associated with scary movies and scary things. And on that note, I will say that also spiritual protection, doing any sort of spells or rituals or practices that really reinforce and reinstill spiritual protection in your life can also be very helpful and can provide a lot of peace of mind if that's something that is at the forefront of your mind right now or you feel like you really want to do. Just wanted to mention that. And also, happy Halloween. So overall, October 2024 will definitely be ushering in pretty notable opportunities for specifically transforming our relationships. Really thanks to this eclipse season, Jupiter going retrograde in Gemini, and the depth of Pluto stationing retrograde in our lives. And I really think that the full moon in Aries will also be pushing us as a collective to really stand in our independence. While Venus and the Sun transits will be calling us to dive a bit deeper into our connections and bringing more intentional introspection into how we approach things. And finally, let's get into these custom journal prompts for October 2024. All of these prompts are already printed within your October's monthly alignment section, so you can go ahead and flip over to those pages now. You'll also find these prompts in the video description below. First question is, what is a highlight or moment of gratitude that you had in September? Next, what is a challenge or lesson that you had in September? Do you have any intentions that you'd like to set going into October? All right, y'all, if this video resonated with you, then don't forget to subscribe, give it a like, and share your journal insights in the video description. I'd love to hear them, what your intentions are and what your experiences were in September. And if not that, go ahead and comment 3 jack-o'-lantern or pumpkin emojis to let me know that you made it to the end. And finally, if you love staying aligned with the moon and the cosmos and the top astrology events of the year and at any given month, and you would like to have it all in one place where you already plan out your life, then be sure to check out the 2025 R-Line Astrology Planner that goes on sale October 6th. It's filled with ritual pages, seasonal wellness guides, writing prompts, and notifications for every top astrological event of the year. So be sure to check that out and click the link in the description box below to be notified. Until next time, friends, as always, I'll say my favorite quote, which is, be gentle with yourself, because life is about the journey, not the destination. All right, I'll see you on the next one. Peace.